Uh, Yesterday was very sad day for people in Connecticut and in US in general. In a crazy incident in a school in the town of Newtown, city of Connecticut, 20 students were killed. Some 20-year-old senseless guy entered the school with semi-automatic assault weapon and killed almost 25 to 26 people. Out of them there were 20 kids, young kids from the grades like kindergarten, first grade. And this is not the first time something like this happened. Uh, we have in our memory the Colorado shooting incident where some crazy guy like this entered into the movie theater in the middle of the night and killed um, 15 or so people. Then there was Virginia Tech massacre. And one thing we can see in all these incidents that is common is that easy access to this assault weapon for this type of people. We all know that they're not, these people who did this heinous crime are not normal. They have some mental issues or other related with them. They had history of some mental illness or some mental trauma. So no doubt they needed treatment or counseling, but they had very easy access to these assault weapons. They could purchase them legally, have them legally, and then this leniency in this law resulted in this horrible crime. And again when this issue comes, then the debate of gun law heats up. People from both sides argue very passionately. People who support the gun law always link it with their self-defense, right to defend themselves, and again the very important point, the right given to them by US Constitution, where it's one of the, to carry weapon of your choice is one of the fundamental rights. For self-defense, I don't understand. Do you need AK-47 or some semi-automatic or automatic weapon which can kill hundreds of people at the same within a few minutes, which can fire like I don't know how many 20 bullets per second? Do we need such type of weapon for self-defense? Means what kind of scenario we are imagining when we see self-defense? Some a mob of armed soldiers attacking us, or are we living in a society where such type of incidents happen very frequently, where there is no law, absolutely no law and order situation, where police are almost non-existent and your life is in the constant danger at every step? Are we living in this such type of country or society? In those type of societies, places like when Afghanistan was ruled by Taliban, all those people used to carry whatever weapon they can afford to carry, and they can use it whenever they want. Do we live in that type of culture and society, or do we want to live in that type of culture and society where everyone has a right to carry a weapon and then everyone can use it at their own will? Is that what we want? Yeah, I can understand the passion for weapons, passion for gun. They can purchase gun if whatever they feel suitable for self-defense, but how can they justify carrying something like this? Doesn't it needs to be, this law needs to be revived? We need to think over it again and again and see if there are any loopholes. They should be removed. Whenever something like this happens, you see all those long candle marches. People gather, near the place where this incident happened. They pay their tributes to the victims. They console families. The church arranges so many gatherings, and people come together. They pray. They cry. No amount of tears, no amount of prayers or wishes is going to bring back these people. These people are dead for no fault of theirs. They were living their normal life. They were doing something which was supposed to be safe, part of their life, and they got killed by some senseless act. Yeah, we were not involved in that directly, but it's our responsibility, it's lawmakers' responsibility, it's every citizen's responsibility to do whatever is possible to make that sure that this place is safe for people to live, for kids to live. When something like gun, when it's fired, when bullet is fired, it doesn't see where it is hitting. Once you aim at the target, and the person carrying a gun, whether he's mentally stable, unstable, soldier, or anyone, whether it gets fired accidentally, purposely, in a rage, in anger, for self-defense, no matter why, once the trigger is pressed, the bullet is released, it's out of anyone's hand. It's going to hit its target if it is aimed properly. And it doesn't see what target is, whether it's an old person, helpless child, a woman, injured, or or a terrorist. It doesn't see who it is, and it just kills the person. So if this weapon is so dangerous, why not to control it, control the possession of it? Many countries like Japan, and many other democracies have some strict laws for gun possession. And I'm not saying that bar guns altogether. I understand the passion of people who want to have this weapon in their hand. Yeah, have shooting ranges where you can go and use this type of weapons. Only confined to those places. Use them, keep them there on that spot, lock them, and go home and live peacefully. If you're so passionate about handling those weapons, handle under proper guidance and only in certain places, like smoking. You're not allowed to smoke in public places. You're not allowed to smoke so many places. It's not that hazardous compared to carrying a gun. People can directly shoot and kill people using guns, and they're doing it. Don't we see that there is something clearly wrong in our attitude and approach? People who justify the use of guns, who justify their right to carry weapon, and they said it's the right given to them by constitution or God-given right. There is nothing God-given, first of all. It's all controlled by laws and constitution, which is man-made. People like us sat together, they thought what can be good, what can be allowed, what can be disallowed, and they drafted a constitution. They made some laws according to those times, according to the social and economical situation which existed at the time. And those laws can be changed, they can be modified if necessary. And it's our responsibility to do that, no matter which party you belong, which ideology you believe in. Human life is human life, and it's our duty as humans to protect each other. There are, we can say any consoling words, we can express our sorrow, we can cry, we can pray to God, but nothing is going to bring back those kids, those people who died. They're gone, and we have to make sure that things like this don't happen again. And if we need to change some law, if you need to put some restrictions on some things, we should do it. We should not hesitate to take a bold step. And you can, this faith and religion and prayers can help to deal with the death, can help to reduce the impact of tragedy, but it's not going to offer any solution. I read one comment in which, in one of these gatherings, one fellow said, like, we have now 20 more angels and 20 more saints. Really? Do we need to create saints and angels like this by killing small kids? We don't need. If saints and angels are created by this method, we don't need any of them, and we should make sure that we don't create any more. Let's be very clear about it. We can use nice words. We can use console ourselves by this was what destiny planned for those people. But we all know it's not their fault. It was not their destiny. It's some loophole in the law which was used by some crazy psychic person, and these people lost their lives for no fault of theirs. We should not forget this. We should try to get answers from people who can solve these problems, and let them give real answers this time. Not just because we are trying our best, but things are not working, there is no consensus, then try to get it. Lives are precious. These talented kids, people who deserve to be here, who deserve to be happy, those families who are suffering, it was not their fault. They lost someone who is very near and dear to them. We feel lucky. Everyone who didn't face this tragedy feel lucky, feel blessed. They have equal right to feel like that. And it's our responsibility to make sure that this never happens again. Guns are not toys. They kill people, whether by mistake or by intention. Once it is fired, it does its job. So automatic, at least ban sale of automatic and semi-automatic assault weapons to general public. Have some restriction on possession of weapon, background check, health check, proper training, and evaluate those things after every year. Put proper mechanism which can monitor its use and sale. Always monitor why a person needs like 100 or 200 bullets. What kind of justification one can provide to buy such a lethal ammunition, which can kill like hundreds of people in a matter of few minutes. I cannot understand, and I cannot justify. At least there are people who are very passionate to carry this type of weapons. I know that. I read posts for them, posts written by them, and I fail to understand how they react to these type of incidents. And giving gun in everyone's hand is not going to make this world safer. If you allow to carry gun to a teacher in a classroom, if you allow to carry a gun to every parent when they visit a school, so that if some incidents like this happen, they can react, they can fight it out, that's not a solution. Because having a gun doesn't give you a courage to fire it. But these people who are psychic, who get that weapon in their hand and they can go and fire, doesn't necessarily means if you give gun to each and every person, they can fire back to those people. It's a totally senseless argument to say that give gun to everyone so that they can protect everyone. At the same time, you're giving that person right to attack everyone. This is a two-sided sword, and we have to handle it carefully. So let's not forget this tragedy. Let's not forget this until something like this happen again, and we come together to mourn for something like this again, and then again go through same debate, same prayers, same candle marches, and then again go back to our home thinking that we were lucky that we didn't get affected this time. Let's do something very substantial and request people to do something so that these things don't happen again. Thank you, and please raise your concern about this issue, express your opinion so that it gets noticed and it gets registered. Thank you.